After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake. So I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility. Yes, it was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher-level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her. When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two. Yes. No. She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from. Yes. Yes. We worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I suppose technically my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Jr. too. I told you before that Zero Jr. moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me. I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me. Then, maybe they wanted the opposite. Maybe they wanted you to suspect me. You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me. Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room. Yes. I think so. Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though, or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes. Yes. That wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed. Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance. If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions. Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun. I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course. While we were fighting over it, You mean because I'm a golem? One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players, a human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die. No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders, too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me. When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED. Yes. Correct. Yes. She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio. Yes. I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past. Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing. But he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do. He seemed pretty surprised to find my body. It didn't take him long to get over it, though. He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo. Yeah, but he couldn't find it. Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome. No, I don't think so. I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman. Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade. Yes. It's the name of the organization he belongs to. I don't think so. I don't really know. I'm afraid not. Yes. I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side. May I continue? He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Theo didn't let her.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you? The fuck do you think you're doing?
What the hell are you doing?
None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this? How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
No, nothing so tasteless.
What are you you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close, give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio. Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point. Unfortunately for Cloverant and Miyoji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil. Yes, almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand. Yes. As for what happened in the rec room, well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.